Blackwood Forest. Even the name held a chill. It was a name that conjured images of darkness and mystery, a place where the unknown thrived and the familiar faded away. Locals spoke of it in hushed tones, their eyes darting nervously towards the tree line. They shared stories passed down through generations, tales of strange occurrences and eerie encounters that sent shivers down the spine. It was a place of shadows, they said, where the sunlight dared not reach. The dense canopy above allowed only slivers of light to penetrate, casting long, haunting shadows on the forest floor. The trees stood tall and imposing, their branches intertwined like skeletal fingers reaching out to claim the unwary. Each tree seemed to have a life of its own, whispering secrets to those who dared to listen. A silence hung heavy in the air, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the occasional snap of a twig. It was an oppressive silence, one that seemed to amplify every sound, making even the smallest noise feel like a thunderclap. But beneath the surface, something darker lurked, something ancient and hungry. The forest was alive with an unseen presence, a malevolent force that watched and waited. Blackwood had seen its share of tragedies, hikers vanishing without a trace, families torn apart by the loss of loved ones who ventured too far into its depths. The forest had a way of swallowing people whole, leaving nothing but questions and heartache in its wake. Whispers of strange lights in the night, glowing orbs that danced among the trees, leading some to believe in supernatural forces at play. These lights were said to be the spirits of those who had been claimed by the forest, forever wandering its dark paths. The forest held its secrets close, guarding them jealously. It was a place where the line between reality and myth blurred, where the natural world and the supernatural coexisted in a delicate balance. It was a place where the natural world seemed to twist in on itself, where reality itself felt thin and fragile. The very air seemed to hum with an otherworldly energy, a reminder that Blackwood was not just any forest. And it was into this unsettling landscape that three friends, seeking escape and adventure, unknowingly ventured. They were drawn by the allure of the unknown, the promise of discovering something extraordinary. Little did they know, the forest had its own plans for them, plans that would test their courage and their bond in ways they could never have imagined. As they stepped deeper into the shadows, the forest seemed to close in around them, its secrets waiting to be revealed. Emily, Jack, and Sarah. Three friends, each with their own unique spirit and dreams, yet bound together by a shared love of the outdoors and a yearning for something more. They had known each other for years, their bond forged through countless adventures and shared experiences. They were inseparable, always seeking the next thrill, the next escape from the mundane routines of their everyday lives. This trip was no different, a chance to leave behind the noise and chaos of the city and immerse themselves in the tranquility of nature. Emily, the artist, was drawn to the beauty and mystery of the wilderness. She found inspiration in the vibrant colors and intricate patterns of the forest, her sketchbook always at the ready to capture the fleeting moments of natural wonder. The forest was her muse, a place where her creativity could run wild and free. Jack, the pragmatist, sought solace in the simplicity of nature. The forest was a place where he could clear his mind, away from the constant demands and pressures of his job. He found peace in the rhythmic sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, and the chirping birds. For Jack, the forest was a sanctuary, a place to recharge and find balance. And Sarah, the free spirit, was forever chasing the thrill of the unknown. She thrived on adventure, always eager to explore new paths and discover hidden treasures. The forest was her playground, a vast expanse of uncharted territory waiting to be explored. For Sarah, every trip was a new opportunity to push her limits and embrace the wild. They had been planning this trip for months, meticulously organizing every detail. It was more than just a getaway. It was a chance to escape the pressures of their everyday lives and reconnect with something primal. They pored over maps, plotted their route, and gathered supplies, their excitement growing with each passing day. Blackwood Forest, with its ominous reputation, held a strange allure for them. It was a place shrouded in mystery and legend, a place that promised both beauty and danger. The stories they had heard only fueled their curiosity, making them eager to uncover the secrets hidden within its depths. It was a challenge, a test of their courage and their bond. They knew the forest would not be easy to navigate, but that was part of the appeal. They wanted to prove to themselves and to each other that they could face whatever obstacles came their way. The journey was as much about their friendship as it was about the destination. They packed their bags with excitement and trepidation, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. Their hearts were light, filled with the promise of adventure and the joy of being together. They had no idea that the forest had its own plans, that it would test them in ways they could never have imagined. They were young, full of life and laughter, oblivious to the fact that they were walking into a nightmare. Their spirits were high, their laughter echoing through the trees as they set off on their journey. They felt invincible, ready to take on whatever the forest had to offer. For Blackwood Forest was not a place to be trifled with. It was a place of ancient power, a place that demanded respect. The forest had a way of revealing the truth, of stripping away the facades and exposing the raw, unfiltered essence of those who dared to enter. It was a place that demanded respect, and it showed no mercy to those who dared to underestimate its power. The forest was alive, its presence palpable in the air. It watched and waited, ready to challenge those who ventured into its depths. Emily, Jack, and Sarah were about to discover just how unforgiving Blackwood Forest could be. Their last known stop was a dusty gas station on the outskirts of town. The old man behind the counter, his face etched with years of hard living, had watched them with a mixture of curiosity and concern. He had seen their kind before, city folk drawn to the allure of the wild. He knew the dangers that lurked in Blackwood's depths. "You kids be careful out there," he'd warned, his voice gruff but not unkind. "Forest ain't no place to be messing around." They had laughed it off, their youthful confidence unshaken. They thanked him for his concern, paid for their supplies, and continued on their way. The sun was already beginning to set, casting long shadows across the road. They were eager to reach their campsite before nightfall. It was the last anyone saw of them. Section 4. Whispers on the Wind. Blackwood Forest was steeped in legends. Tales whispered around campfires meant to frighten and intrigue. Stories of lost souls forever wandering the woods, their cries echoing through the trees. Of ancient spirits, guardians of the forest, fiercely protective of their domain. And then, there were the whispers of something darker, something sinister that lurked in the shadows. Locals spoke of strange rituals held under the cover of darkness, of chanting voices and flickering torches. Of a presence in the woods that was neither human nor animal, something that watched from the trees with cold, calculating eyes. These were just stories, meant to scare children and keep outsiders away. Or were they? The line between myth and reality blurred in Blackwood Forest, where the air itself seemed thick with secrets and the very trees seemed to whisper warnings on the wind. Section 5. A search marred by silence. Days turned into weeks, and the silence from the forest grew deafening. The once vibrant sounds of nature had faded, replaced by an eerie stillness that seemed to stretch endlessly. The forest, usually alive with the rustling of leaves and the calls of distant animals, now felt like a void, a place where time stood still. A search party was assembled, their faces etched with worry and grim determination. Each member carried the weight of hope and fear, their eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of life. They were a diverse group, brought together by a common goal, united in their mission to find the missing. They combed through the dense undergrowth, their calls echoing unanswered through the trees. The forest seemed to absorb their voices, muting their shouts and whispers. Every step was a struggle, every movement a battle against the thick vegetation that seemed to conspire against them. The forest seemed to resist their efforts, swallowing their voices and obscuring their path. The canopy above blocked out the light, casting long shadows that danced menacingly around them. It was as if the forest itself was alive, a sentient being determined to keep its secrets hidden. They found their campsite untouched, their tent still standing. It was a haunting sight, a stark reminder of the lives that had been lost. The tent, once a symbol of adventure and exploration, now stood as a silent witness to the tragedy that had unfolded. It was as if they had simply vanished into thin air. No signs of a struggle, no clues to their whereabouts, just an empty tent, and the overwhelming silence of the forest. The only clue, a single hiking boot lying discarded on the forest floor, its laces torn. It was a small, almost insignificant detail, but it spoke volumes. It hinted at a sudden departure, a hurried escape, or perhaps something more sinister. A sense of unease settled over the search party, a feeling that they were not alone. The forest, with its dense trees and impenetrable darkness, seemed to be watching them, its silence heavy with unspoken secrets. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, sent shivers down their spines. The forest seemed to watch them, its silence heavy with unspoken secrets. It was as if the trees themselves were whispering, sharing tales of the past, of those who had ventured too far and never returned. The feeling of being watched was inescapable, a constant presence that gnawed at their nerves. The search continued, but hope dwindled with each passing day. Exhaustion set in, both physical and emotional. The once hopeful faces of the search party now bore the marks of despair and fatigue. Each day brought new challenges, new obstacles, and the ever-present question, would they ever find them? Blackwood Forest had claimed another victim, and it seemed determined to keep its secrets hidden. The forest, with its dark, foreboding presence, stood as a silent guardian of its mysteries. It was a place where the line between reality and the supernatural blurred, where the past and present intertwined in a dance of shadows and silence.